Our topic for today is essay writing, and for this we dealt with paragraph writing. So I'm sure now you would have some idea about how to write a paragraph, and I would like to make a point here, and that is that both these things, essay and paragraph, they are serving the same purpose, but the difference is that of the level. Paragraph was on a miniature level, while essay is where you have great freedom of expressing yourself in support of something or against something. So here you have a combination of paragraphs, but all of them are dealing with a single thought. As in paragraph, we had sentences that were dealing with a single thought, they were developing a single thought, and we had there that thesis statement, that the first sentence where we introduce the topic and we let the readers know that the rest of the paragraph would be about that thing. So in essay we're doing the same thing. We're combining different paragraphs to achieve some goal, and all of these paragraphs are interconnected. So what essay is, essay means to attempt. Essay is an attempt to compose the relevant ideas in a correct, concise, and comprehensive and concrete way. So essay is an attempt to express yourself about something. It is an attempt to prove something or to persuade someone into buying something or into accepting something, into believing into something. So essay is in simple words, I'd say, is giving your opinion about something, or making someone convinced to believe something. So for this purpose we use essays. Can be of various types, serving different purposes. Like we have the way we had different paragraphs, like descriptive, we had narrative, we had persuasive. So here as well we have different purposes that are served by these essays, these long compositions. They serve those purposes, but in detail. Here, if you say it is a literary composition of any given topic, or you can say a short literary composition dealing with a subject. So the same thing, it would have a subject, it would have a main theme about which that it be written, and you wouldn't be jumping from one theme to another. So by this we mean to say that it would have its own essence, its own subject, its own theme, and all these paragraphs that you compose, that you connect into a single whole, would be achieving that goal for you. Okay, so these are some of the definitions of essay. After this we would move to what are the parts of essay, if you're writing an essay, and how would you write it, the different strategies for that, and the different stages or phases of writing an essay. So we're going to deal with them in detail now. Now we're coming to parts of essay. If you remember, in paragraph we also had three parts of that. The first one was thesis statement, and then we had 2 or 3 sentences for arguments, and the last part of it was conclusion. So same is the case here, and I as I mentioned before, that it serves the same purpose. Okay, but only the difference is that of the scale, is that of the space available. So there we had only a few sentences that were doing that job, and here we have paragraphs that are doing that job, and all these paragraphs are actually connected and they're moving in the same direction, where you try to achieve some goal. So here, if you see, the first one is introduction. This is where you come up with, you can say, the first paragraph, where you introduce your characters or introduce the topic that you're going to talk about. So for example, if you're writing about a personality, so you talk about his background, you want to introduce him to the readers who are reading the essay, so that they may know who they are going to read about further in the essay later. Then we have body. This is the main arena. This is the place where you have to talk about the person or the topic in detail. So whatever the topic was in the first paragraph, or whatever claim you made there, now here in the body you have to prove that or deny or go against that particular topic. So body, we would talk about this in detail, and then we have conclusion actually, as we had mentioned in paragraph, it actually is a revisit to your introduction. This is the same thing, because people often forget what they read about. So this is, you can say, you're restating what that thesis statement was, what the claim was that you talked about. So actually you concluded that here, you proved it in the body, and here in the conclusion you are referring back to it and making a claim. Okay, now we're going to talk in detail about introduction. So as we already stated, that this is the part where you are going to introduce your topic to the readers, so that they may know what they're going to read in the rest of the essay, or what the rest of the essay would be about. So you can see here, here are a few points that you should keep in mind while writing the introductory part of your essay. So this introduction is often the first paragraph, usually a paragraph, rarely two or more, that guides the readers into your paper by grabbing their attention and introducing the topic of the essay. So you can see you have to make it the first thing that you need to do, and the most important one as well, is to make it attractive. Like, if it is boring, so people won't go into detail, and this is the case these days. Like, people in our society these days, they are busy doing nothing. So you have to catch their attention. You have to keep them with you, so that they may go along with you till the very end of the essay. So you have to make it attractive, and you can do that by adding a few things, a few tricks there, using language, trying to make it a bit sensory detail, give their so that they may see what you're trying to draw through your words. So your words should have this picturesque quality. Not always, but most of the time we do this, that we create situations. We want them to see that through the eyes of the eyes of the writer. So you have to make it attractive, or write in the narrative form you can. So just to have an enticing story there, so that way they'd be with you till the very end, and they would love to know what's coming next. Then we have, it predicts what the readers are going to read in the body. As we already mentioned, that this first paragraph would have a glimpse of what they're going to read later. So the first paragraph, as it is an introduction, people would know that the rest of the paragraphs would be about either proving that claim, or denying something, or if it is about a character, so you introduce him there, so people would know that it would be about this person that they would be reading in the rest of the essay. Okay, it introduces the general aim of the essay. Yes, it should be, as I said, the point you'd make there. Either you would say, you talk about the greatness of someone. Either you would say someone is right or someone is wrong. So that aim of it, the very essence of that essay, would be, you'd give a glimpse of that essence of the essay in your first paragraph. Okay, it is concise and brief. It can be 1 or 2 paragraphs. You don't make it boring. Like, we do not have, the readers don't have that much time to go into extra detail, especially if the detail is superfluous, if it is not important to the general sense of the essay, if it is not doing anything, either good or bad, to that essay. It can be bad because it would waste the time of the readers, and they may leave it, they may leave it in the middle. So better try to stick to the point, don't go astray, and just focus on the main topic. Okay, then it should be striking to grab reader attention. The same bit of repetitive, I'm sorry. Okay, it should grab the attention of the readers. That's what we talked about. It should lead your readers to the subject of the essay without any unnecessary delay. As I said, you shouldn't talk about things that are of no importance there. only and only focus on the point and talk about it. You can add things that are related to that point in some one way or the other, but the things that are not important, you should skip them. Okay, now we're moving to the body of an essay, and as we already discussed, that the body is one of the important parts of the essay, because this is the place where you are going to prove your case. You're going to fight your main battle, I'd say. So in the first part, in the introduction, you made some claim, you introduced what you're going to talk about, what you're going to discuss in your essay. So this body is the place where you are going to actually discuss, you are going to actually prove something. So if you see, body of essay is the middle section and a combination of paragraphs that supports, expands, and gives further explanation and detail of the main subject. So it can be either 2 or 3 paragraphs. Normally it is 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph is your introduction, the rest of the 3 paragraphs are your main body, and the last one is your conclusion of that. So here you have to provide facts and figures about the claim that you made. This is the place that you have to come with the authentic data, the data that you researched, now through which you are going to convince the readers so that they may agree with you. Or if it is about some character, so this is the place where you have to discuss his achievement. Like if it is a political figure, so in the first paragraph you introduced him. In the comment paragraphs, which we call the body, here you have to talk about his political achievements, what are his services for the country, and why do you consider him to be an iconic figure, what makes him an iconic figure. So it depends upon this area. This is the place where you have to prove that thing as it is. It gives fact, description, illustration, and reflection about the subject matter of the essay. So the very essence of the essay can be seen here quite vividly, quite graphically. It is the place where it is proved. Well, coming to this part, come well prepared. You should have all your gears, you should have all the equipments required for that. You should have all the data that would help you prove your point. So you have to prove it here. This is the area where you have to do it, and so because of this you would move to your conclusion. Okay, so conclusion is the last part of your essay, and it serves 3 purposes. The first one is that it summarizes the whole of the discussion that was there. The second one, that it answers the thesis statement, the claim that you made there. So it answers that, it either proves it, the point that you were trying to prove. So here it answers that point, that it's been proved. And the last one is the significance of the arguments that you gave there, significance of what you have achieved, and the decision that now you're leaving to the readers to make. As all these essays, they have this persuasive spirit in them. Either you want to convince someone to do something, or you convince them to agree with you on some point. So this is the main purpose of most of the essays. So at the end of your writing, you conclude it by proving that, by showing that you have proved your point, and now you're leaving that to the readers to take their decision. So here you can see, as I have written here, conclusion is often the last paragraph that brings together all the main points of an essay discussed in the body. So as I said, it summarizes all the points, the main points, though if you do not have enough time, and normally in short essays we do not have that much time to talk about each and every point there, but some of the important things you can discuss in your conclusion or in your last paragraph. Then we have it refers back and restate the main topic. As I said, you're not supposed to write it exactly the way it was there in your first paragraph. You only maybe change the words, keep the keywords there, keep the keywords the same way, restate that here. Okay, write it in another words but the essence should be the same. So as you achieve the goal that you were trying to achieve, so this is the place to celebrate that thing. Okay, now again here readers remember best what they read last. So you can say, I mean, as I already mentioned this, that you have to mention the thesis statement, because people normally forget what they were reading about or what they were discussing. So you have to give a glimpse of what you did and what you were doing. So your conclusion is important. Your conclusion should leave the reader with a final thought and sense of satisfaction by resolving any idea brought up in the essay. If you remember, I discussed it in narrative paragraph. So same is somewhat the case here, that there was a tension, there was a point that you wanted to take your position either in favor of or against. So now through your arguments you resolve that problem, so the readers should have this satisfaction of resolving an idea brought up in the essay.